Brett, what do you think is going through Tom Brady's mind right now as he is a couple of days removed from being in Foxborough as an opponent? What was going through your mind?
I would think.
What do you think?
I would think Tom is probably maybe not so much today, but come Saturday evening, Saturday night, certainly Sunday morning, as he makes that bus ride to Foxworth as an opponent for the first time. It will be as if it's his first start, back when he was a Patriot. It has that type of feel to it. It's hard to explain because only a few guys have been able to do it. But it's a nervous, excited, like almost wondering how you're going to be received by the fans. Which I don't think that's a no-brainer. I think he'll be well received. But, he wants to go in there, not that he has anything to prove to his team, his former team, or to the former management. But he wants to play his best. And, Tom normally does play his best week in and week out. So I envision another Tom Brady-type day. But with the joy and enthusiasm like he was when Drew Bledsoe got hurt and he came in.
Well, you on the night of November 1st, 2009, when you returned to Lambeau for the first time, as you just kind of pointed out, it was a whole different ball of wax from the fact that, you didn't know how you were going to be received. You were also going against Aaron Rodgers. This time it's Mac Jones for him, and I don't think Patriots fans are going to have a similar reaction to his appearance as maybe some Packers fans had to you. But, what was that like for you that night when you strolled out onto Lambeau Field and you weren't wearing the G on the side of your helmet? For him, I still even imagine, despite winning the Super Bowl for the Buccaneers, it'll be a bizarre experience for him.
Yeah,
on Sunday night.
I had deep down, I had a feeling that, there would be a lot of boos. So I wasn't really overwhelmed with the reception I got. I was almost flattered because it was the loudest I'd ever heard Lambeau in regards to a visiting team or a visiting player. And so I took great pride and was sort of honored by that. But much like when my father passed away, there was enormous pressure that I had internally to perform at a level that I didn't know if I could perform at. And of course I wanted to win, and that was most important. But I knew in order to do that I had to play well, and I'd played well several weeks before against the Packers in Minnesota. But this was a totally different deal playing in Lambeau. So the pressure was on to perform at the highest level. And that was, I think back to, I had butterflies like no other in that game.
Well, you had 4 touchdowns in that game, just like the game that you with your dad after he had passed on that Monday. So how would you counsel Tom? I know he's been there and done that, but on focusing with all the circus and the level of expectation here.
I don't think Tom needs any advice from me or anyone else. He obviously has played in big games, lots of big games, playoffs, Super Bowls. This is a first for him, obviously. And he'll, his experience and his demeanor will be fine. This is not a really good Patriots team. I'm not saying that they can't beat Tampa, but, I think the one thing that you can't do, and I'm sure he knows this, is you just can't force the issue. You just gotta you want to play well. You want to play lights out. You want to play better than you've ever played before. But you got to let it come to you, and it will. I think they're just way too good a team to lay an egg in this one.
Yeah, how badly did you want to win that night? In
I don't know if there was ever a game that I wanted to win. Of course, I wanted to win the Super Bowl. As much as any game I ever played in, but I can't say that beating the Packers was not as equal, if not more, of a priority to me.
Is that a way that you really wanted to beat their ass? Is that what you're basically saying to me, Brad?
Yeah. Yeah, how could you not want to prove to your old team? Now, again, the circumstances, the situation was a little bit different
Right.
with my deal as opposed to Tom. But, I felt like, I was too good to play against the Packers and not good enough to play for them. That's kind of the feeling I got from management at the time. And so how could you not want to prove that they made a mistake?
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.